I'm really sorry. I have to tell you something.
What?
I messed up the audio.
What do you mean?
You've been quiet for almost the entire time. I'm so sorry. Oh, man. We've been talking about some interesting stuff as well. I'm really sorry, mate. Oh, that's funny.
Kill me.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, well. Hey, look. You know. If why didn't you tell me? That's the thing I have to ask.
Oh my god!
I have now fixed it, so there's no more excuses. That is totally fair. That is totally fair. Oh my gosh! Right. Oh dear. Well, what we'll do is we'll restart, and then we'll sort of we'll talk about exactly the same things again. But oh dear. Why are we here? Ladies and feelings. That's it. Sorry. Ooh, yeah. Do you know, it's probably a good thing because, like, most people listen to what you have to say and they just switch off. So,
How did I know that was going to be?
Oh shit, that's bad. Oh man. Oh, I will say as well, at some point I do actually have a little teaser for what's coming up next as well, which will be good.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I didn't mention that before, but yes.
That was like I was so tired and delirious from running that.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, I'm so glad I prepared everything beforehand, because also we had to cancel previous times.
Yeah.
And then finally when we record it, and it's me, I'm just like driving back from work, and Rob texts me like, "Hey, so we're all here. Are you all right? Are we starting soon?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I was like, and then we stopped at a red light, and I just checked my diary real quick on my phone because I just have it on display there, like phone, just for checking traffic and stuff.
Sure.
And then I saw the calendar. I was like, "Oh! No!"
Man, that was funny as hell.
And then I'm just like,
yeah. Man, when you messaged back, be like, "I'm on my way," like, yeah. So we should have mentioned. So this is the Candela recording that we did. That was before the New Year, actually, I think.
It was.
But sort of manic start to it, and I think that kind of gave it a bit of energy, actually. To be honest,
I was thinking about this the other day, actually.
Yeah. I thought it worked quite well. I mean, obviously, no spoilers at all, but we can at least say that it is the last Candela. And things happen and stuff goes down. And
yes, it's only one Candela.
I will say it has been a pleasure to edit so far. I have finished the one coming out next week. That is done.
Okay.
And started on the next one. I have a feeling, although I haven't got there yet, it's going to be a 3-parter.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, because it's it's about 2 hours long, that second half. I'm pretty certain we'll end up making it 3, but I'll go through it and decide how that works. But yeah, I always enjoy the Candelas, but this one in particular, I knew we knocked it out of the park as soon as we finished. I was like, oh my god, that was an episode. But it's just going back and rewatching it, I've been like, Jesus, this was good. Like, oh man, just the imagery, the sort of horror of it, and some of the things that happened in it. Fantastic. Yeah, and I couldn't be more pleased with how it ended, let's put it that way. I think it was a beautiful ending.
Yeah, I think just to kind of throw some buds, like, when like running it back in my head, it was almost like, because we are kind of comedy lot as well, like it was like a super epic, like, anime kind of fight thing, but also there was just some funny shit in it, which especially when you've got someone who runs who's like, "Oh yeah," like and speaks like that, and you're also like, and then you got Dibbo's like, "Oh," and it's like there is just you're having these moments and they're silly, but then there's a really like, "Oh, fuck," and then. Yeah, I think just how we play is just idiots, and also the seriousness of the horror. And I've said this before. I think it's just a nice blend.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah.
Because when it's like you're having a laugh, and then something boom happens, and you're like, oh, wait, and you're trying to bring it back to funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so good.
That's it. That's what I really like about it. I think still one of my favourite things that's ever happened is that 10 minutes or so that Josh and Cisco ended up having.
Oh yeah.
Where Josh was talking to his sister, through. Oh my god. Oh. That was. I haven't seen anything that good anywhere else. I genuinely think that's the best thing we've ever put out. Is that 10 minutes, and so much so I put it in as a clip of the week.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
it was just it's.
I remember. I don't know if it's you. Like it was like the 10-minute, but it felt like seconds, and then I had to like snap myself out. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I think you said something as well. You're like, that was like in the moment. Like I think you said, you're like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something along those lines.
I do remember that the thing that sort of snapped us out of it. Which I'm pretty proud of was Cisco. Sort of went, in character. Did anything happen? Did it work? Because obviously he's playing as Josh's sister, and I just went, no, it didn't work. And at that point we were like, there it is. We're back.
There it is. There's the funny. It's back.
Yeah. Beautiful. I
just see like what this would look like animated, and I love it. Like it's so fucking. Yeah.
I mean, some of the. I mean, I just think that about a lot of the stuff we do. It's why I did. It was a few years back now, but why I tried to sort of like to do little cartoony short things because some of the stuff we do can be so fun as sort of animated stuff. It doesn't, it's great to be able to see us and us sort of playing along with it and stuff like that. But I think especially the stuff that we record online. You can only see the top bit of us, and it doesn't always get across in the same way. Whereas, if you do it in a cartoony way, the only thing is, I'll say those edits were laborious. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever have the time to do them again. But if I ever do, chance, I'd love to.
Well, it shows how like how tough it is to be an animator, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of animes like in Japan because they have a bad. I would say it's one of the downsides of Japan. They overwork. And it's so much so that it's normalized for someone to be like just sleeping on the street. It's not, and knowing that it's not homeless, and it's like it's almost like they see it as like a respectable thing, and people just leave them. Or if they're like drunk like they've gone for a drink afterwards because they're so overworked they just need a drink. That people put bottles of water around them.
Oh wow!
That's the practice. Just to make and they see it as a sign of respect to like if you're sleeping or like that. They don't like. They look after people in that respect, and they just go right. That person's work their arse off.
This, by the way, is not us being horrible about another culture. You've literally lived there, so
Well, I didn't live in Japan. I lived in Hong Kong.
Sorry, but that culture. You know what I mean. I've been to Hong Kong.
Do I?
Well, you know what I'm getting at.
No, but it's like it's just generally a Eastern thing, like overwork,
but I mean that I think is something I personally am always really careful about. Like I when I am working, I work super hard. Like I really give it everything. And as I said, I can't mention something that happened, but let's just say that's paid off for me. And however, I will, when that clock hits a certain point, and I'm like, that's my end of day, the laptop shuts, and I go home. Like, that's me done. I will always, like, somebody calls me up and says, I'm having a major problem, I really need your help. Of course I'll help, as long as I'm not, like, out doing something. If I'm sort of around, then fair enough. Yeah, of course I'll help.
Yeah, because...
leave me alone. It's my time now,
Well, I watch a lot of anime, and the reason I can, like, any anime, like, big anime fan will agree that the problem can sometimes bleed into the anime because you see they're overworked because the animations are not good, because they've been pushed to get stuff out too quickly, and see the margins. Even the people who write the mangas, the comic books, effectively, like. They expect to bring stuff out every day, like in terms of like a page or something, or a set amount page. I don't know what the actual range is, but it is like people are like working 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not right.
No days off, like which I think is crazy.
That does happen in gaming culture as well, doesn't it? Of course, the crunch is kind of expected.
The crunch, yeah.
It's not acceptable.
And that's just the industry. It's not even. It's not even like in the Eastern world. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there are times where you just have to lock in and work hard. But there's a difference between I need you to help me out for a day or two. I have had days where I've done 18-hour days. A couple of times I've had to really, go for it. And I'm either fairly compensated or I'm given the time back later. These things happen, and you have to put, you have to put your dues and you have to put the work in. But that shouldn't be a norm. I've never seen it as a norm, and I think it partly comes from how you bring yourself into a job. So when I joined my current role, I came in immediately being like, I will work my butt off, but I will not work my butt off for the entire 24 hours. I will do it whilst I'm here, kind of thing. And I think if you set that, not in all places, but in a good amount of them.
It's what you do in your time.
That's exactly.
It's more important than how many hours you do. You may as well do 6 hours of incredible freaking work rather than 18 hours and it's average.
But I find as well I work better when I'm not tired out. My work gets worse after 5 o'clock. Like I see the drop off. And I'm like, oh man, I know right now I'm slower and things aren't looking quite as right. So I know that, and it's not necessarily 5 o'clock, but that time when you're like, I've done my hours. Now I'm starting to feel a bit peaky,
I mean, I could do 18-hour days easily, but it's one of those things of like, as well, it's not something, unless you're self-employed, like, which I'm employed and I do stuff on the side. But is that thing of like, if I did 18-hour days every day, and I think I could, is that I have to do it in stages because of my neurodivergence, it's if I do block things out, then I can do my full 18-hour day, no bother.
Yeah, you're a better man than me because I mean I've lived with people who do like those full 18-hour days that have their own businesses and things, and they just don't stop, and you're like, come on man, just relax for a bit, it's fine, it's gonna be there when you come back, it's all right. And some people kind of a bit like that. I mean, when I finish my main job, I come home and quite often I'll do some editing or I'll do some, but it's something different, and I do it because I enjoy it, not because it's another job, And if it ever felt like, this is lagging, then I think about whether I want to continue. But I love it because I think it's so much fun, and you learn so much as well.
Well, it's how we use that as a segue to actually talk about some of the points of lasers.
Oh yes. Oh
yes.
First of all,
I've got the essay. Of course, I know. Yes.
I would just like to, just before we start, I'd like to say I hate you all for planning behind my back.
Oh, yes.
Don't get me wrong. I love you guys for coming up with a concept that essentially meant I didn't really need to have a story. The problem was I'd written 2 stories for this, and I was like, I'm going to let them play it out, and I am going to decide which story we're going to run with. I haven't got it I'm like, I've got 2 stories. We'll do one or we'll do the other. And you bastards made a 3rd story.
We did. You can thank Ben for that.
Yeah, I know. Of course it was Ben. I knew that immediately.
Yeah, he's the ringleader. I'm calling you out.
It was a surprise Julieverse episode, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do remember with 15 minutes to go, because we had to finish at a certain time. Thinking, okay, I hope you guys are, you guys can all see the clock. We know what time we got to finish. I'm assuming some of you, particularly you and Josh, are pretty good at bringing it all home. And then Carl's a law to himself, and that's fine. And Ben's all right.
The laws of physics don't apply to
Kyle. Yeah. I know that's going to happen. Whereas Ben's normally he'll get back into the swear thing. Nobody did that, so I was like, okay, right, we're going to just end this, are we? Right. Which was funny as hell. It was absolutely mad. But I did not see it coming, and it's the first time where I felt I had to wrestle control back at the end. Oh, Baker Me, hello there. And a kitty in the chat as well. Good to see you.
Kitty?
Yeah. But yeah, what a mad bloody thing that was. I swear, with 100% honesty, I had no idea this was going to turn into a Julieverse. I genuinely, like I say, I had 2 other stories planned out. That was what I was going to do. And then the Julieverse happened. In fact, I think you literally hear the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm going to scrap the story, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yes. Anyway.
Do you want to roll the dice? I've got the thing up here.
Yes, I need to grab myself a D20. I do have one, it's just I've put them all away because I'm trying to doing a clear up. A little bit of spring cleaning in February.
Spring.
Let's have a look. Number 8.
Number 8. Okay. They all start saying they should be in charge. Jamelia tries to take over and is ejected from the ship. Oh yeah.
Right. So, yes.
Wasn't Alpha Julie? Did he not Ben eject his own wife?
He didn't help. Let's put it that way. So,
no.
Yeah. So what it was is obviously in the previous episode, Ben had got himself married as part of the the last episode for your character. It's completely gone out of my head now. Virgil, of course. Oh my god, how could I forget that?
I only played him for 3 years.
I know it has. It's been a long time. It's been about a yearish perhaps since that happened. The last thing that happened is that Julian got married as part of Virgil's wedding, and I was like, well, we'll bring them back in. We've got to have the wife there. But it was.
And we took her back out.
Yeah, basically. And it was. I think it was Kyle in the end who went, no, you know what? I've had enough of you. I'm going to just eject you out the space station. And
yes,
I will say the bit that got me is I was like, well, what we'll do is we'll push her out the space station, and maybe I can use her again as a character somewhere. I think that'd be quite fun. So maybe bring her back as like an angry ex or something. That'd be really fun. So I started just sorting that out a bit, and then you all went, no, she dies. And I was like, what do you mean she dies? So, and you were like, no, what we do? And then Kyle sort of asked if he could take it over because he'd rolled correctly. I was like, yeah, you tell me how this happens. And he's like, then it explodes and she dies. And I was like, fine.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe I'll retcon that, but it was just like how you went.
She comes back like dead. Terminator.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, but it was just it was a great moment where I was like, I could salvage something from this bit. No, you can't. No. I have to ask you though, obviously you played Julian. No, hold on. Was it No, hold on.
No.
What was the name of yours? So it was Kyle that was Julian. I'm thinking because you were just a big pile of goo.
Yes.
Oh gosh, we did give you a name and it's totally gone out of my head. But
It's called Meh.
do you know what? I will have it. Yeah, of course. I know your name was of course Meh, but I did actually have it written down at some point. I can't remember what I did. So I'm just looking through the rest of them and I'm seeing some really stupid.
Blobbington,
that was it. We called you Blobbington.
Yeah.
Blobbington Smythe. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. What did you think of playing? You essentially started a brand new character and then immediately changed to a different character.
Into another new character. Yeah.
How did you find that?
Yeah. Fine. I mean, it was a lot of trying to be like, right. I understood Julian. It's like, how does Julian fit into this new character? I've not really. And I think, I'm sure I went the kind of route I am Emperor Meh, or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Of the Blobbington Empire, I don't know. Because at the same time, I'm trying to work with the Julieverse side of things.
Sure.
So, was some of that Blobbington? Was that some of Meh? Like, is he claiming to be an emperor? Or was that, it could be both. It could be neither. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think more episodes need to happen for me to. I've not found the character properly yet.
Of course, yeah. I think that's going to be a fun thing. I am thinking about doing another lasers. So the plan currently is we want to do some sort of stuff around Hogwarts and sort of getting some stuff for that. So that's sort of the next thing, and you guys are going to hear from me soon about that. I've had the first episode planned out for a while, so we'll sort it out. But I've got maps and stuff and things, so that's good. And then I think I might come back to a lasers because I've got a plan for one that I think would be fun, and I think it gives you that chance as well to sort of play with your new character as well. Yes, but I mean, let me just go back to the thing that caused everybody to turn into Julians, because I love the fact, and Ben kind of accidentally gave me a gift here, that he has a device, but is quite clearly his device for turning on his aircon, and I know it well.
No.
No. And of course, it covers the first name, so it is, it's obviously a Russell Hobbs. But of course, he just puts Hobbs on it, and I'm like, well, that's one of my characters, so of course we're going to play with that. And he's trying to fight it so badly. But I'm a big fan of the fact that he was like, this machine will do this, but hold on, there's 5 more buttons. So which is great,
Yeah.
It gave me a chance to play as well, which I'm always happy to do. So that was good fun. Yeah. When did Ben contact you then? Was it like a day before, or has it been a week?
Oh no.
No.
It was about a week or so before.
Okay, right, yeah.
So this was like because we was like next week we knew we had this thing, and Ben was just messaged me and it's like, hey. I got a thing that we have to do. And I was like, yes.
When Kyle changed, I was like, oh wow, that's a really interesting storyline. We'll have to find a way to turn him back by the end. And then you all ended up changing, and I just didn't see that coming. Like, even after Kyle changed, I should have been like, it's all going to happen to all of them. I had no idea. I was still like, okay, well, this could be a really interesting sort of introspection of Eddie. And it turned out to be madness. It's what it turned out to be.
Yeah.
So,
madness!
Should I roll another one?
Go for it.
Hell yeah. Okay. Dropped on the floor. And that is a floor 15.
15. Julian leaves, seeing Hobbs with scientific officer Shaw. He lights up Shaw up, but he jumps into the sea.
Right. Okay. I should probably explain that a little more. So it's actually Julian, I did put a little.
I see.
Yeah, Julian.
Oh, that's Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is brilliant. Yes.
So he decides to leave the ship at the end
Yes.
at the very start of the second act, just to help me out.
Oh yeah, I know what. Oh yeah.
And he goes down to see Hobbs talking to scientific officer Shaw, who you guys hadn't met before, and was a character I created on the spot to be like, I need something to turn these guys back if they don't do it. So I will introduce his character now. This is something I thought about in the break. I was like, let's do something now, so that if I have to pull, wrench things back last minute, I've got something there. So you had this scientific officer who's working on something. They're having this conversation, and then and then Julian decides to light him on fire.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is
As you do.
As you do. It happens, doesn't it? Yeah. That was. I wish I could have fleshed it out more. Let's put it that way. I wish I could have done a little more with that character. But you know what? It did.
The one you had to make up on the spot.
Yeah. Because you know how it is, where you're just like, I have something I've just had to do out of nowhere. I don't have a backstory. I don't have anything. Nope. I could, another sort of, if I could have spent a couple more minutes with the character, that would have been great. But I had 4 of you in 4 different places, and I was like, we're just gonna have to leave you. We'll deal with you later. This is always the problem. Is that I think we're really good at this in Candela. We often like to do things together. And I know obviously Josh ended up having his own episode, but that wasn't because he didn't want to come and do something with us. It was because he literally wasn't available. And you were like, oh, let's do something with your character, on his own, just to, to have an extra episode and see what he was up to, which was really cool. Yeah. But the majority of the time in Candela, we're working together because, big scary things happening. Lasers, it's like, I'm going here, you're going over there, you're down there, and like.
What it does is sets up really cool. Set up a kind of cool start for the finale.
Yes.
Because you guys are just kind of there, then out of the shadows, flying through the air, carving through this creature that's coming out this dimensional portal,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Which, by the way, isn't a spoiler. That episode's already out.
Yeah.
That bit is known.
That's the bit we know. So yeah, that's all right. Yeah, if you're interested, that's I think that episode is called the intermission episode.
Yeah, the bleep below.
Yeah, bleep below. That's yeah, which is awesome. Yes. Whereas with lasers, there's not so much of that need to stick together. You guys know your characters well. You know what you're doing. I'll let it go. So you're like, I'm going over here now. I'm gonna and you're all very rude to my personal insert character, Gary, who's literally just there to be like, you have 5 minutes. That's essentially what he's there.
My character ate it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, that was Hobbs that you ate, I think.
Hobbs? Oh, it was Hobbs.
It was Hobbs in the end that you ate, yeah. Unfortunately, Julian helped out to get him free completely by accident, so...
Yeah.
But, I always like watching episodes by other people where they're like, right at the start of this, you've got a couple of minutes. In fact, even the show I went to go and watch with the Oxventurers on last week, he basically said... Like the dungeon master said, you're in a place and you're talking for about 3 minutes. Like even he's like, I know you need a couple of minutes to get into this. The problem with me doing that is that it allows you all to scheme and start doing things, and you're not allowed to do things. No, it is. I like it because out of nothing, something just appears. You're just like, what the hell? But also sometimes you just never leave the bar. You're just like, we're in a bar, there you go. And I think that's maybe my fault to an extent, because I should be doing more stuff where you don't just start in a bar. but it's become kind of a ritual now, and I quite enjoy
It's
it.
like the bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You begin in the bar. The problem
The recurring bit.
The problem is it just stays in the bar now.
It's like the Friends Cafe.
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see. I think I want that to continue, but it's just one extra thing you have to do.
Yeah, it's Central Park.
Yeah, it is basically. Yeah. And it's all essentially named after the fact. It's basically a stand-in for if you're in D&D, starting in a pub. That's why it's called the Jolly Roger, because it's like it's meant. What it would be is a sort of like on a dock somewhere. Is how I've always seen it, but it's actually in the spaceship, and it's already there to sort of be used. So
Yes.
that's fun. Oh man.
Yeah.
Should we do one more wrong?
Let's do it.
Cool. Oh, number 11. Oh.
Going back a bit. Aloysius misses his pinch on the original Julian. Now Julian manages to light the bar.
I think that was meant to be punch as well.
Punch.
I'm typing quite quickly when I'm doing this. My favourite character to come out of the episode, Aloysius. Aloysius Bovington Smythe, which is Gary's changed form.
Yes.
Basically, this is the very start of the second half, where my original thought was the second half is going to be everybody's going to campaign to see who's the best Julian, and then you're all just going to turn on each other. That was my guess as where we were going. We never got there. And that was, funnily enough, pulling in one of my storylines that I'd tried to put us towards, and then went completely nowhere. And I was like, actually, I could still bring in some elements, which was to do with voting. And I'll tell you a bit about that, and then we'll come back to this if you like. So the plan was there would be somebody who owns the ship who will turn up and decide that he needs it back into space for a particular reason, probably monster related. I have written more of it out, but I'm probably going to use some of it, so I won't go into it too much. But probably big monster related. He needs the ship back into space. And there would be this vote between, does the ship go back up or does it stay as a ground station? And there'll be sort of like two different sides to it, and you can sway the vote a bit. But obviously, you'll have your hijinks in between as well, and maybe some of you will join one side, some of you will join the other. It'd be a really fun thing. And then at the end of it, you have a big fight, either with a big crowd of unhappy people or a big monster, depending on what sort of happened. And I ended up pulling that vote bit out because I was like, I like the vote idea. I think that's cool. So maybe we can turn that into a Julian vote. Who's the best Julian, And then the bar got set alight.
Yes. As a good Julian should.
Yes, exactly. Throw chaos in there, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, too right.
And set public bars on fire.
Yes. It's not the first time either.
No.
Oh gosh. But so obviously Julian is looking to light the bar up, as you do. In fact, I think this was his second attempt, because he tried it.
Are we saying Julian's an arsonist?
Yes. Absolutely. You're absolutely saying that.
Yes. Because he also then sets someone on fire.
Yes, he does. Yes. Very good point. But I think Josh was playing it with a bit of Nan in mind, and Nan is just unhinged. So this is the thing I always get that makes me laugh about Josh's characters, is that he's obviously got Rot and Nan. Rot being the sort of bartender version. And Nan being the unhinged side, but he's also got a third version in there as well, which oh gosh, it's out my head now, but I will remember the name. But who is even more unhinged and tried to kill everybody last time he turned up. I'm just like, but everybody's then a bit unhinged, but that's fine. I love it. Oh gosh. In fact, is his first? No. Oh, it's completely gone out of my head now. the third character's name. But yeah, I love it. But yes, it's always interests me when a fight begins for you guys, because you've got it's the same in D&D as well. If a fight is looking like it's going to start, like the main thing I was thinking of when, if this fight starts, it's going to be like people ganging up and then big bar fight, essentially, love a bar fight.
Yeah.
But there's always that feeling of every once in a while you guys will just find a way to get out of a bar fight, and essentially lighting the bar on fire will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up finding, the fight that I wanted to end up having between T-Rex, Julian, and and the rest of you. Yeah. Another one of my favourite characters. It just didn't happen. In the end, we had a full game without any proper, battles in it, and that's fine. That's happened before, but just you guys find little ways to get out of things sometimes, and I usually am just like, good, we did something different with that time, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because we ended up having fun with it anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
What did you think about your character sort of struggling with the fire extinguisher and struggling to move and things like that?
That was fun because it just reminded me of that scene in WALL-E where he gets the fire extinguisher and goes out in space.
Yes. No, I haven't watched WALL-E.
So that was fun.
Even I know that bit.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really. I think the sort of comedy you can have with that, especially when you're like, there's a fire, everybody, massive commotion, all that stuff. To play on the comedy of that moment is
I know what sounds like. I get it.
Yeah, and this, be like, yeah. I will say that I bet the idea that you brought in, I don't know if it's something you thought about beforehand, but of being able to change your size, that's a really cool idea and something I bet will come in handy going forward.
I think it's also like because the time advancement thing, that thing, I was getting older, so I shrunk. That's how I played, because I was improving, of course, because I'm like, all right, okay, we're going this way. What would a blob like me? What would happen to me as I age?
Yeah.
I was like, I shrink and I dry out a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, water.
Yeah.
Hold the water.
That is a really fun thing, because we get to learn, like, obviously you're not a human character, so we get to learn about how you work as we go, and the thing I love about that is that we will learn things as it's happening, like you said, like the sort of stomach acid thing, where right at the start where
it's super slow.
Oh yeah,
my digestion is very slow.
Yeah, but Eddie has the tips of their fingers burnt off, and they do grow back by the end, but still, it's something I have to deal with for the rest of the episode.
Yeah,
it's a really fun one, especially when you're sort of learning about your character.
I enjoyed also playing with the voice as he aged as well. But, it's like, and then I thought it'd just be funny. What would be as I age, what would be the opposite of what I am now, kind of thing, was kind of where I was going. Yeah. I'd be like, yes. I'd be like, yes.
It was
got deeper.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I like Kyle obviously trying to save you as well at the end, where Julian keeps pressing the button, and this is the thing. As soon as he told me the button had a clock on it, I was like, time advancement. That would be brilliant. Let's do that, because I'm like, I know I will find a way to deal with this.
Yeah.
Afterwards, but we'll do a time advancement thing, and then I came up with disgusting and rather horrible idea to have a pregnant woman, and I thought it would be funny, and then I said the words and was like, oh no, like I should not have been said this, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I will say the comedy bit came out when he was about 30 years old and just went, wow. I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time I was like, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
This ain't funny, this is just, ouch.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah. I will say, Ben also introducing, with 15 minutes to go, the fact that he wanted to open an old people's home. I was like, no, we don't have time for this. Like, and he was like,
what doesn't want old people in it?
I
remember. It's like, then what is it?
Yeah.
Like,
just a reminder, one of the main reasons we had to finish on time is because he had asked us to, and he's like, 15 minutes to go, introduce something new. Right?
Yes.
Oh gosh, that was so mad.
Yes.
Yeah. I will talk very quickly about the ending as well, because I think it's worth going into, because there is an interesting moment at the end. Now, yes, all right, there is a Deus Ex Machina. I set up, scientific officer, sure, but I did not do very much more than that, and it was just because there was so much going on. So yes, all right. Yes. Hobbs has helped to create this machine that Julian has. Therefore, he knows how to reverse it with the help of, sure. That's essentially
a crispy shore.
A crispy shore, exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, I had no more of a chance to do anything about it than that. But it resolved the issue. And the thing is, I did think we have to resolve it. Not, I know. At least, I think it was at least Ben said to me, but possibly a couple of other of you said, why not do another episode? And the reason I was thinking just get through this one, just finish it off here, is because I know availability is difficult at the moment for all of us, and trying to find days. So I'm like, what happens if two of you can't turn up for the next one? Then all of a sudden it makes things a little more difficult, and it doesn't flow quite as well. So I was like, let's finish this off. We can always revisit it, maybe it doesn't work properly, or whatever. But it was I thought let's try and tie it up at least for now, and then we can kind of decide things. But the issue I did end up having is, because the space station starts working again, Kyle's in control of it, and I'm just like, I'm going to make him roll for this because he doesn't know how to pilot. So let's just see how it goes. We know that I've set up this black hole. We know it's there. We know it because of pulling through all these Julians. Essentially, it's ripping a hole in the universe, and he fails. And I'm just like, well, consequence for that. You're going through the black hole. And then in my head, I was like, that's for future Rob to worry about. And future Rob's been thinking, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, I think I'll have something based around that for next time, which could be very fun. So yeah, you're in a completely different universe at the moment, so that would be cool. I'll make some decisions, work out what to do next. Anywho, sorry, before I go on any further, anything else you wanted to say about the episode?
No.
Good.
I want to see a little teaser.
I know you do.
I know.
So I'll introduce it. So this is the next episode that's coming out. It's quite often I'll usually take the first couple of minutes of an episode and put that up because it's usually quite good. But actually, if I did that here, I think it would actually give away too much. So I ended up taking a section from the middle. And this is, we're in the middle of a fight with a big, nasty, horrible bugger. And but essentially I won't say too much more than that. But yeah, we are in a fight, and we're I wouldn't say struggling, but we're it's a tough one, as you can imagine, because it's the big boss fight at the end. Mm-hmm. Anywho, I shall switch us over to that now. Enjoy.
Yes. You just see different parts, different modes getting a little taste. Everybody gets to eat.
The sacrifice has been made. And you'll see, coming out this portal, a torso. And you'll see where all the arms of arms stems from. And then you just see this big, bulbous head. It's not really a head. It's like, it's almost like so many skulls are trying to fit in the same place. And it looks like just really, like, major mumps or something. Like, it's just really just come out and it kind of steps out, but even behind it, more flesh kind of connected, like it's back. There's still more flesh to come. It is now come fully into your realm. Kin and Klaus, what are you doing in this round?
Hello.
Hello.
How big is this thing?
Do you know the kind of block of flats that you guys are based in? The apartment is like 3 lots of flats kind of thing. Think that and add 2 more.
It's like 9 stories tall.
It's huge. Its head hits the ceiling of this place.
Okay.
I'm just thinking whether the science mobile would help here. Not sure how to get here, but yeah.
Just go.
Like the Batmobile.
It's not going to help you here.
No, I know.
I fucking tell you what, because this would be hilarious. If you can roll with me right now,
Yes.
double 6s.
Yes.
I will let you use your highest amount of dice that you can do in any action. So 3,
Wow.
say 3.
3, yeah.
If you roll a critical success right now, I'll let you like have a fucking beep beep. A little.
Yes. I mean, you got to bring the science mobile back, haven't you? Yeah.
That would have. Oh man. In that moment, I was like, I really hope you do roll 2 6s.
Oh, well, we won't give away whether I do or not because that's what I left out. But I will say something I thought was amazing happens with the science mobile. I really enjoyed that moment that happens at the end with it.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Oh gosh, I as I said before, this has been one of my favourite episodes to edit. I think we knocked out the park. I thought we were fantastic in this episode. I cannot wait to put it out. So that will be next week. As I said, probably next 3 weeks. I'll just have to work out how it works, basically how it all fits together. But yeah. Shall we also announce what the episode is called as well?
Oh, what's it called? What it called?
Oh, do you remember, or do you want me to say?
Oh, you mean the assignment itself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's the same assignment unending, but this final episode is called Forever Flesh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Ew. Yummy.
Yes. Lovely. Yeah, all I say is honestly, it's a great episode. In fact, it's a great few episodes. So yeah, do make sure you watch this one because you like it's the fact that it's an ending as well for our characters. That these are people that we have gone through so much with as well. I do remember genuinely feeling sad at the end, being like, I'm never going to play Klaus again on 9. So yeah. What's your thoughts on Candela? Would you ever run another thing of it?
Ooh. I don't know. I think they would have to. I think there's a couple new things they had released. After I think the kind of second assignment.
Yep.
After we said goodbye to kind of Arthur. I think they had released 2 extra classes, but they've not really done too much since.
Okay.
But the kind of Cthulhu-ness and everything is such a vast thing in itself. I don't know. I think it would have to be a particular reason.
Yeah, fair. I think
Yeah.
I know that you love that sort of darker side of things. I particularly I remember you enjoying running this. Probably the most out of anything you've run. And I think
because I love this kind of genre. I love horror.
setting.
I like so love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Whereas this for me, it's completely out of the blue because I it's not that I don't like this type of genre. It's until recently I didn't watch it. I'm a scaredy cat. I don't like horror. I don't like I kind of the closest
I
I've
mean, you're
got,
facing that description with the skulls and with the skulls, you're like,
yeah.
your face legit. Ooh.
But the closest I got is I like the Saw movies, and that's about as close as I got. I don't mind a psychological sort of psychological horror-y type thing, but a full-on horror, with Cthulhu monsters and things like that. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't really watch that sort of stuff or get interested in that sort of stuff. And playing through it, I got to experience that with a character that I think might be my favourite character I ever played. I mean, I love Bryn to bits, I do, but I actually think, I think the Professor might end up being my favourite, just because the way I could destroy the levity of a situation was wonderful. Oh god, this amazing and brilliant thing, or this horrific thing has happened. Well, I'll just insert a joke here, shall I?
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. I'd love to. I'd love to, when we get to the end of these episodes, is talk a little bit more about the chats we had behind the scenes, especially when creating the characters, because there's something about my character that we never really spoke about. I'll mention to it when we finish. That actually, I think when you it never really came up. We didn't need to talk about it, but it actually puts a sad feeling on that character, and the way that he acts, which I think is really interesting. But it'd be good to hear that, from everybody's point of view.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, I think in terms of games, I guess going forward into the year, I mean, always have to continue with D&D and stuff, but I do want to try and run Time Flux again.
Oh yeah. Of course.
And try and do an episode that kind of redeems the stuff we lost, but also makes it something new and interesting and takes it in a different direction, but kind of works within time travel lore, if you will. And I think as well, I talked to Cisco, who's up for maybe joining us in a episode.
Lovely.
So that'd be nice, just like a one-off. And then because I think the next, if I run time, it would just be a one-off, and then see how I feel after that and kind of where we are, because it is like a game that's development and has been on hiatus for a bit. But would I run any other types of games? Maybe. I kind of want to go on a bit of a, maybe try some new stuff out, like this kids with brooms. There's a really fun one in the system that Brinley Mulligan did, and it was so funny. So everybody you have all the different dies, right?
Yep.
I think it's similar. It's a playoff in Kids and Broomsticks. So when you land on the max result, you can get, like, say on a D4 that explodes.
Oh yes. And
then you can go switch to a D8, and you can continue exploding if it keeps happening. And there's DCs and stuff like that. I think it's a playoff Kids and Brews, but it's just adding like a homebrew element in. Ooh. And they did it for they all get sucked into a 90s action movie, or no, 80s. And it was so funny. Oh my god. And this was fun. It's super accessible as well, because there was a lot of new players at the table that didn't necessarily, it was their first time doing it.
Okay.
Playing this, and it just looks so much fun, and I could so see us doing it, because it's the right amount of chaos for us. It's the right amount of jokes and silly, just insane like there's no limits. Like, it's just, you could do insane shit because you're like in an action movie, or we could play it something else. But it could just be absolutely bonkers shit, and that's totally fine. Like, I think it's something like I think even Kyle would really enjoy a lot. I think like Kyle would like sit in this a lot more than other games.
Cool. All right.
So it's like, and it's not that difficult to get your head around at all.
Yeah.
No.
Sounds good.
A lot easier.
Do you know what I thought you were going to mention Daggerheart? Because I know that's another one from Critical.
Thing is, like even when I first started watching, I've watched a lot. I watched their Age of Umber, which was like a Elden Ring style world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I really like some of the, especially the dying scenarios, the dying stage. So it's all out. I can't remember what the different ones, but one was like you go all out. You will die, but you can choose to do maximum damage.
Wow. Okay.
And you narrate how you go down the Blaze of Glory. I think it's called Blaze of Glory. Another one is you just wait to hopefully be resuscitated if enough people make it out,
Sure.
right? And you exit the scene kind of thing, but you're just unconscious. Or there's a gamble roll. So if your fear is higher than your hope, you just die.
Wow. Okay.
Another one is if you get hope is higher, you come up with like that amount you rolled
Oh wow. Okay.
on that hope die in hit points.
Yeah.
And you get to take your turn right away. And it's a very, again, combat with them is it's you, then the enemy.
Yeah.
I get things like every time you roll with fear, like, well, when you roll with both, you roll both dice. And see for general rolls, if you roll with a fear and it's higher, but it's like a good result for what you're trying to do, it's a token I can use for later.
This is it. So just a very brief explanation. I've only watched one Daggerheart episode, and it wasn't even a Critical Role one. And essentially, you roll 2 dice, and not only are you taking the highest number, basically you're looking for the highest number. You have 2 separate dice. One which is hope, and one is fear. You want to be rolling high on hope because you essentially get a hope token if you roll high on that. If you roll high on fear, you still pass the sort of check. If it's a 15, you roll a 15. But a fear token goes to the DM, who can use that later, or maybe even then to essentially allow them to do it. So it's like a currency you can spend to say, I want this to definitely happen, or I'm going to put extra work into making this happen. And then of course the DM can have the exact same thing where
you also have to use it for certain abilities and spells. You have to spend hope. Like it's your currency for a lot of things. It's just thinking it's like you say, currency for that either be me, the GM, or the players with their hope.
I love the idea of the GM being given some as well. I mean, that's it feels, as a GM sometimes, you're already busy enough trying to run a story and trying to do things, but the fact that you get something to play with, like I said with Ben, with he's pressing a new button now, and he's like, I don't know what it does. So I'm like, yeah that's for me. Like, those little bits where you're like, this is for me. I get to play along now. I'm not just in my head the entire time being like, okay, how are we going to run the next bit? How am I going to set up the next 5 minutes? It's like, I get to play. Cool.
Yeah, I think the general gameplay is a lot more accessible than D&D, but the only thing I can't get my head around, because I think it's one of the things I need to buy the book, which is I watched them make characters and stuff, but I was kind of like, I kind of get things, how armor and stuff works with this, that, and that. But it's some of it was kind of like, I think I need a visual on this. I need something in my hands I can read. And how that sets up and then also what I find with a lot of like TTRPGs and how that works for the GM. That's a lot of the time that I find things I'm like, I don't understand this, because I feel this is something that only a GM would have access to.
Yep.
You don't usually see that in Let's Plays and stuff like that. And so I think I need to get my hands on it before I even consider playing Daggerheart.
Fair enough.
I would love to run Vampires the Masquerade.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it's so expensive.
Oh, is it? Oh, no.
And they have very specific dice.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have general dice, but then you have specific die that is to do with, like, blood and stuff.
Alright.
But and you get that as part of, you can buy the dice sets.
If you ever do that,
I think that's such a barrier.
Yeah, I'm just playing Dracula.
Well, there's different vampire species
Yeah, I'll just find a way to
with
play
different
Dracula.
powers. Well, you would play as a Nosferatu
Perfect.
vampire,
Yeah,
because that's what Dracula is.
lovely.
But you look, that particular species of vampire
Weird
looks
looking
more like the traditional vampires. You literally do not look normal. You can't pass.
Yes.
You can't just pass amongst humans.
I've seen
You
some
do.
bits.
You do not look okay.
I've seen some bits in the game. I haven't played the game, but I've watched some gameplay of it, and I know that the Nosferatu quite often will eat rats and things because they have to survive in the sewers because they can't come up during the day.
No, because they can't pass to normal humans.
Exactly, yeah.
No.
Yeah, whereas other species can, so maybe I'll do that instead. But that I would be very much up for. But obviously, don't go spending a ton of money on it because that's mad.
No, it's only if you're like, I really want to get this, and I do just have cash. I can disposable cash. That's the point where I would go buy it. And the thing is, it's like, I wonder if there's there must be some sort of online thing that you can D&D Beyond you can use for vampire. I would be so surprised if there isn't. If there isn't,
Yeah.
because then you don't have to buy the specific dice, and we could play it online, and all I would need to do is get the Game Master book. But also, the thing is, the player book is also very expensive.
Man, that's annoying.
Yeah, and I think that's such a shame for such a cool idea and concepts, to do that. And just, I mean, even the Cthulhu book, the Keeper's book, the GM book effectively, was really expensive. I got it, but I was but to be honest, Cthulhu, the reason I really wanted to run Candela is because even I was this hurts my head.
Yeah.
And then how am I supposed to get my head around this and then try and explain it to a player?
Yep. This is
never
why,
played it before either.
Yeah, this is why the games that I run are, they're even easier to pick up than D&D, because even D&D sometimes I'm lost, I don't know what I'm doing. The amount of times, I think it even happened in a recent episode of D&D that went out where I was like, I've been rolling the wrong thing for about a year. Because it's not horribly difficult, but it is just difficult enough that if you haven't played it for a month, say, and you come back into it, you're like, what am I looking at? Where Lace and Feelings, and I would say even to an extent Gravity Rip, I can leave that for a year. I mean, we literally left Lasers and Feelings for 9 months, I think, 10 months.
Yeah. Came
back to it. We all knew what we were doing. We didn't need to have a chat beforehand to sort of get back into it. We knew what was happening. That's the sort of thing I like to play with. And
even Critical Role, there's sometimes the Matt Marsh or Brennan Lee Mullick, they're having to go even for simple spells, go can you read that spell out to me?
Yeah.
Just to double check some things, because it's there's so much to remember, and they've been doing it for most of their lives.
Yeah. I really like
the age of 11,
I really like what I heard. This is the thing that the GM said, DM said that I went and watched the other day, but he said it years ago. He said, I will, if something's really, really important, I'll take the time, I'll look it up. And he said, it will feel like it will take forever, but you're usually taking about 30 seconds. And he's like, we can always edit that out if we need to. But, if you're live and it really needs to be done, you'll take that time. If, however, after 10 seconds, if it's not that important, just make it up, which I agree with.
Yeah,
I've done it. Right.
I've done it. I've gone, you know what? Roll that, and that'll be the help us make that decision.
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be right, but I think that's a fair compromise between both player and because rules are there till it gets in the way of fun. I think Brendan and Matt Mercer said.
Yep.
And then after that, you just throw it away. If it's ruining the fun at the table, it's
for us.
Get out of there.
That's more important than the mechanics of the game. I think if you're able to have fun with it, Especially, I think that comes across as well, like to people watching it. I think if we're just sat there being like, we must know the mechanics, and we do rules lawyer, but that is
for you and against you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
but that is, in service to what we're trying to do. We're not, there we made a joke out of it because we knew, okay, this could actually be quite a laugh. So, we found something from that. And
because it's something you guys wanted to really do in the moment, so it was important. So that's why we double check things.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's to be funny or to do something you like want to do seriously as which is, I mean, not seriously very often, but it's like, so. Hi, it's like, and even this stuff I'm like, what is it? And then Josh or something will remember, or you'll be like, actually, it actually says this here in your spell, and I'll be like, so it does. Actually, go ahead. Like, and yeah,
I think that's fine. I said, again, it's a nice thing because we know we can edit it out. If we need to take, I have done that in the last. Last D&D that went out. I do remember about a 3-minute pause where we just looked some stuff up, and I was like, none of this needs to be in there because we're not really saying anything. We're just like, I want to take the time to get this right, and we did. It was the right decision. But we have the option to edit those out as well when we're doing live stuff. So we should get back to doing some live stuff as well because we haven't done online for a while. But at some point.
I don't think I've run a live D&D.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you have. The thing is quite often we'll do those when we're all together, won't we? Because I think D&D lends itself to that, whereas a lot of the lasers stuff, we don't need that. I know that we've done a few lasers live. I remember doing a couple of them because that's where because you guys had to create new characters. I remember, now this will be very long ago, back in the day, there is an episode of Lasers and Feelings you will not be able to find. And there's a good reason for that. We ran a live episode, and I decided that's not going out. And it wasn't... There was a problem. I won't talk about what it was, but something was happening during that episode which made it almost impossible to run, and I remember thinking that ain't going out. That was terrible. It was live, it was already on the, it's happening. But after that I was like, nah man, we're not putting that out on the internet any more than it already has been. Yeah. But I'll talk to you about that afterwards, but I wouldn't mention it on here. Anyway, talking of that, shall we finish things off if you're if we're all done? Well, look, thank you for joining us for our first Rolly recap of the year somehow. I still don't really understand how that's possible. But, thank you so much for joining us. Next week is the beginning of the finale for Candela Obscura.
Beginning of the end.
Oh, and honestly, please do watch these. I love Candela, but these episodes, I thought they'd finished so perfectly. I'm well proud of them, so please do watch. We shall see you next, should be next Thursday. I'll actually have to double check. The other annoying thing is that I am a Crystal Palace fan. Boo, I know. And they qualified to play in Europe, which is lovely and fantastic and brilliant. I'm very pleased for them. Problem is, those matches happen on a Thursday. So, fortunately, they're not playing next week, so all sorted. That we'll be all right. I have a feeling the week after we might be, in which case I might switch it to Wednesday, but I will put like a little note in the chat if I need to switch them to.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anywho. Oh, sorry. I can feel that cough coming.
Oh dear.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a lovely rest of your week. We shall see you next week for some Candela. Ooh, yeah.
Bye-bye.